Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value, and I'm looking at gold and silver. I'm trying to put together what this thing's going to do. I am a long-term investor. The market conditions are good, the real estate looks good, and the ratios look good for gold and silver. So I'm not buying and selling in and out of these companies. If you're trading on the short term, I was not extremely successful doing this. Because remember, these are just probabilities and percentages. They're not 100% outcomes. So we're playing with probabilities and statistics, and sometimes they go the other direction. In gold and silver, I saw a very nice setup to go higher, and it potentially could pull back and reverse on us. And I'll show you exactly the day that happened. So I'm going to show you some things in this technical analysis that can be a little bit educational as well to get you guys kind of your mindset to see what I'm seeing. So this is gold and silver, technical analysis here. So if you were to chart something out, so the black candlesticks are up days, the red are down days, and then you've got a bullish engulfing, which is this candlestick engulfs this body of the candlestick before it. What I look for in some of these patterns is I look for a large move, so big candlestick up days here. They contract where the buyers start to equal the sellers. The opening price and closing price start to equal each other, where it means that the buyers are starting to equal the sellers. The sellers overtake the buyers and they push this down. What this means is that the buyers had more momentum and power in this move higher than the sellers did bringing it back. And you're left with a positive move of the beginning of the move to the end of the pullback. This is one cycle up and down. Then we put in a reversal candlestick here, which is called a bullish engulfing, and it's going to move higher. And you have a wick on the bottom here, which is also called a hammer with a reversal pattern with the wick at the bottom. So it opened here, it went down, and the buyers bought it all the way back up. So it opened here and closed here. Now, conversely, these are down days. We have a reversal pattern to move up. We put in a bullish engulfing here to engulf the one before it, and it went up a couple of days. Then we had a bearish engulfing. What this is signaling is that the sellers had more selling strength than the buyers could to push this up in this price area, resulting in most likely a high statistical probability move of this continuing to the downside. The sellers beat the buyers. They had more power and strength, and they had a bullish engulfing candlestick here, which means it's going to continue to the downside most likely. So that's what I'm looking for in these charts. I'm going to go over the 10-year first. We did break this uptrend line for yields. Yields are most likely going to probably meander down a little bit before heading higher. And for the dollar's right there. I drew two lines. Contact on down here, contact, all through here, which looks like we've got some support for the dollar. It broke to the downside. We could be coming back up, and now it's going to be resistance, and we could roll back over. So we've got a funky looking thing here where the dollar could get weaker and rates are kind of getting weaker. Usually when the dollar goes down, rates want to go higher, because the dollar being weaker is inflationary. And then the 10-year, usually that goes up when you have a weaker dollar. Maybe they're in there buying it, the Federal Reserve. Not exactly sure. Usually they don't buy the 10-year, but you know what? They're going to probably do drastic things in drastic times. And maybe they're in there monkeying around with this. Now, here's the setup that I'm seeing in gold itself. And remember, I don't have today, it didn't update it real time. But see this big down day and then the smaller up days struggling to come up within it. And then we've got another big bearish engulfing pattern here. This is going to go down, and I think it's going to go down until the momentum gets killed off. You can see it happened here, big momentum. It tried fighting back, but it continued lower until we had a large up day, came up, another big up day, bullish engulfing, and we're basically moving higher with a whole bunch of up days all through here and small down days. Then we've got the big sell-off here, and it's probably going to continue a little bit lower. Same with this in silver. And I've been looking at this for a while. Moving on up, and we're moving sideways. And you can see this big down day right here. And then the small up days next to it. And I think this could potentially head lower. And I think it did head lower today and ended lower. So we could see a little bit of a pullback. And I'm seeing this. Now, this is what gets confusing. Usually, GDX, GDXJ, they lead the metals. This setup I have in the box there is bullish as heck. I think someone probably stepped in here and thwarted this move in these two black days right here. The setup was large up day, small little down days, and a bullish engulfing. That is a pretty bullish setup there. It really is. And it's like someone thwarted this move on these 2 days and then pushed this thing lower right here. That's why it gapped down. They gapped it in the pre-market. So they gapped it down. Buyers were still there, tried pushing it up, and it's like someone is just selling this thing off right in here. So we've hit our head on something, a whole bunch of sellers all through here. But the setup right in this box, I would have gone long in. That looks like a good setup. So statistically, this was going to move higher with a high statistical probability. The momentum, the chart break was done. The momentum was coming to the upside. We had a consolidation flag pattern. We put a bullish engulfing in. Right here is the time this thing's about to move up. Someone came in here, thwarted the move, dumped it pre-market, brought this thing down, and they're still pushing it lower. It could be on momentum now. Same scenario in GDXJ. We had the bullish engulfing. The move got thwarted right here, and it got pre-market jumped, just absolutely manhandled lower. We still had a pretty good setup here with this nice big up day and a small down day, but it seems like they're stepping in today and jacking this thing lower. Whoever it is. Still J's following the same thing. This looked pretty bullish here. Small down days everywhere, big up day, and then they thwarted it the next day. It's like, nope, you're not going higher here. Sorry. Whoever it is. Same's happening with the Huey Gold Index. Nice big moves higher. The sideways move. Usually that's an indication that the buyers are in control, and it got thwarted right here. Lots of sellers stepped in here. Jacked it down. Now that's June 5th. Just for the heck of it, I want to see something. June 5th, right there. That's the day it got hit. And what's weird is rates were going lower when this was happening. They were going lower. The rates were going lower. Weird. And this is the Huey. It's going down right now. And same with the gold and silver index. This was a bullish setup in here, right here. Bullish setup, got thwarted, pre-market sell-off. Another attempt by the buyers, and then the sellers just stepped in. Look at the volume down here, guys. What the heck? Somebody does not want this to go up. So that's what I see in the charts. Again, I own a whole bunch of it. I'm not selling anything. I'm holding on. If there is manipulation in these markets, and a lot of people I know they're going to say it is, they're just going to run out of the physical. And when that runs out, I don't know what happens. It's going to take time, though. This is going to be a game, back and forth game. We are still very early in this bull market. Gold and silver really do well towards the end of the bull markets. They usually do pretty steady throughout, and then they just blow up on the end. So maybe the banks haven't positioned yet. I don't know. Maybe they still have to position. Maybe they want oil and some of these other ones to go way up before this so they can rotate in later. Who knows? But what I like is just holding on. That's what I like to do. You guys can do what you want, but that's what I see. We could still move on back a little bit. Wait for this momentum to slow down. Wait for it to slow down. Wait for it to kind of have the buyers start to equal the sellers. And then when we hit that bottom point and it starts to come back up, that's where I like to add in a little bit more. If you guys like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for listening. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.